Good morning, guys. I am Mom Bear to Money. I am mom to 15 Bubbly. He is baby number 15, and I'm not going to talk super loud because he's snuggled. I know he looks like he's kind of like shoved into my chest, but yeah, he was trying to get comfortable, and that's how he got comfortable, so I'm not going to move him. Don't move the comfy baby. So last night we had like an interesting thing. We've been weaning down on his Medaz, which is like his medications. So that's been good. It's been hard a little bit and good at the same time. He has moments where he's just like really irritable. So weaning down on that type of stuff. My sweet neighbor friend, I stopped for a minute. My sweet neighbor friend, she asked if I wanted a coffee, and I said, yes, that sounds absolutely lovely. It really does this morning. So yeah, so they've been weaning that down this morning. They made a big change. I'll tell you about that in a minute. So last night, I don't know if I shared. I went to the Ronald McDonald House. No, I think I shared at Ronald McDonald House. Yeah, anyway, we went to Ronald McDonald House. And I always say every time that I leave to go, then my room gets changed. So my room got changed 2 days ago now. Spent one night in that room. And then last night I came in from supper, and I came in the room and I was like, oh, what's that? I was like, oh, do you smell that? It smells funny in here. She's like, and the nurse was like, yeah, she had just come on shift. She's like, I smell that too. I don't know what it's from. My sweet neighbor friend, I stopped for a minute. My sweet neighbor friend, she asked if I wanted a coffee, and I said, yes, that sounds absolutely lovely. It really does this morning. So yeah, so they've been weaning that down this morning. They made a big change. I'll tell you about that in a minute. So last night, I don't know if I shared. I went to the Ronald McDonald House. No, I think I shared at Ronald McDonald House. Yeah, anyway, we went to Ronald McDonald House, and I always say every time that I leave to go, then my room gets changed. So my room got changed 2 days ago now. Spent one night in that room. And then last night I came in from supper, and I came in the room and I was like, oh, what's that? I was like, oh, do you smell that? It smells funny in here. She's like, and the nurse was like, yeah, she had just come on shift. She's like, I smell that too. I don't know what it's from. Hey guys, now I am waiting for my laundry, and I have 1 minute left. Ta-da! So yeah, so that night we went to, and there was this weird smell in the room, and I came back from having supper, and I was like, something smells weird in this room. I was like, do you smell that? Like, I asked the nurse, and she's like, yes, I smell that. She's like, I cleaned everything out thinking that it was something that was like dirty or whatever. She's like, I cleaned all this. I like ran the sink, because sometimes I guess the sinks get kind of like a sulfury smell. And she's like, I tried to do all these things. So then she called in she's like, I already have another nurse coming over here to sniff too. So we're like sniffing around the room to try to decide like where exactly the smell was coming from. So I went back to like the half that like I keep stuff on and like in the bathroom, and didn't smell over there. It was more like right next to his bed almost. So we're like sniffing around, and it smelled like really chemically, almost like an odd wannabe propane, like that type of smell. So a bunch of nurses came in and randomly sniffed the room, all agreed that something stunk, and then we got the basically one who was in charge, and she said, yeah, let's move you out of here and get maintenance in here. So we moved again into the room next door, which is actually a bigger room, which is nice. It's kind of in the corner. I try to look at the bright side of each room that I get. So I've moved 2 times at Brigham and Women's, 2 times in cardiac, and then this makes our 5th move up here in the NICU. Yeah, so that's exciting. I'm trying to keep my stuff like really consolidated, so like if I'm not there, then it's easier for people to move me, like just bags and whatever. But I do have that project that I'm working on with books, but they're super sweet. They're like, oh, we do this all the time, we're good. And I've seen a lot of other rooms with lots of stuff, so I'm probably making you dizzy. What is behind me? What is that green? So that is that. Anyway, he's been doing good. They've weaned his NICU now. Yesterday they did this. They ended up weaning him down to a CPAP. So he's on a CPAP, which is amazing. He's never done that yet in his whole big 3-month-old life, which he turned 3 months yesterday. He's never been on a CPAP. So they weaned him down to the CPAP, and at first he looked like he had more like work of breathing. He seems to be doing good though. They brought his PEEP up to an 8, which was, when he was on the NICU, he was only on a 6. So they brought that up to an 8, but he seems to be doing good with that. He still has a little more retraction, like where your chest goes in a little bit more than the NICU, but he seems to be like getting better than where he was the beginning of the day yesterday. So they're just kind of keeping it, holding him steady. They also did a med wean yesterday, so he was a little grumpy. So most of the day, I started this video, not yesterday, but the day before, and then I thought that I was going to be able to finish it, but he just was really kind of irritable yesterday, so we spent most of our day snuggling, which I don't mind. Yeah, it's so nice to snuggle. It's nice to be able just to pick him up and feel like I can freely snuggle him. So that's where we're at. I'm hoping they don't do too many weans because tomorrow is Christmas. So Merry Christmas to you guys. Tomorrow is Christmas, and I'm hoping that we can not do lots of changes on Christmas. So if anything happens, I'm there. I'm hoping to step away with the rest of the kids for, I'll probably leave here around 7 and then come back around 3 or so. Yeah, that's about it. So I hope you all enjoyed this update. I guess the plan is a plan. In 3 weeks, they will be able to decide what his lungs are gonna do. And then we go from there. We're either gonna go one direction as far as like getting him off of everything, or at least down to a low flow, or we are going to be looking at doing a trach, which would involve a lot more. So in 3 weeks-ish, we will know that. Or it might be, oh, we need to extend another 3 weeks because we really can't tell. And then also we're trying to get him to take a pacifier more, just trying out just different pacifiers, trying to get that like sucking reflex. So if he is able to take a bottle, that he'd be able to do that. And I'm working on pumping. For a while I was able just to do my breast milk. They upped it up just a little bit, and I cannot at this point, but I'm trying. I'm doing my best. Anyhow, I hope you all have a blessed and wonderful day and a Merry Christmas.